Talladega Superspeedway here in Talladega, Alabama. The Touchstone Energy 300 as we get set. The race analysis shows that this is 113 laps long, 300 miles. The purse, $892,000. The pit window, 45 to 55 laps for fuel. Remember, halfway is 57 laps here. And there's the race record. Mark Martin set it back in the spring of 1997, over 168, almost 169 miles per hour. Onboard cameras, Benny, we got quite a few of them here today.
P.J. Jones, the Pamico onboard camera, started back in 36th position. Joe Nemechek, cellular 1, he starts 35th. Jimmy Johnson has the Alltel onboard camera back in the 28th position. Mike McLaughlin, the Gould Pumps Chevrolet, starts in 23rd spot. There's Kenny Irwin. Now here's McLaughlin. I got ahead of myself just a little bit. He will be starting in the 23rd spot. Jeff Purvis, the Porter Cable onboard camera. He starts in 17th. Snyder National on board with Dick Trickle, starts in 16th.
And starting in third spot, last week's winner, Randy LaJoie, his 200th career start for the two-time Busch Series champion, currently second in points. And our pole sitter, the Briggs & Stratton onboard camera, Chemung, New York driver, top one time with Ray.
Well, Jerry, I don't think it's going to be very long before we realize that the fastest race car on the track is the number 87 Cellular 1 car that Joe Nemechek drives. I watch these guys in practice, and they are very, very fast. I look for Terry Labonte to move out of the way, let Nemechek get in front of him, and those two should make a run. Part of the reason is these guys are so good with restrictor plates. These Winston Cup guys know exactly what's going on. Now, these teams are running a 31/32 restrictor plate today, and that is going to make a difference in fuel mileage. Right, Bill Weber?
Absolutely, and there are several other factors that will weigh into that. The caution flags, when they fall, how many caution laps are run, and how well you work in the draft. Now, between 45 and 55 laps, that's what a lot of these teams have told us, but that's only for their first stop. Some think they might be able to stretch it after they get an accurate measurement during the first round of green flag racing here. Then they'll also know about how many caution flag laps they've run. Look for some guys to run the risk of going just one stop in this race after they pit the first time and get an accurate measurement of their fuel mileage. They've tried it here before, but it's never really worked. It could today.
I think that 87 car of Nemechek will be good. I think that Lyndon Amick in the car number 35 will be very, very good. Both those cars coming from the back of the field. Amick, who was actually married a week ago, and he put his honeymoon off to come run this race. He and his wife, his new wife, Melanie, leave tomorrow to go to Bora Bora on their honeymoon. He said, I think I can go to Talladega and win one. And wow, what a honeymoon that will be. As we get set for the green, Benny, this should be quite a shootout.
It really should be quite a shootout because all these guys so eager to win the race at Talladega and put on their best show for the NASCAR Winston Cup owners watching this race.
Crowd on their feet. Glad to have you with us. I'm Jerry Punch along with Ray Dunlap, Benny Parsons, Ray, Bill Weber, and Ray Evernham. We got enough Rays up here and a ray of sunshine. We got lots of Rays here to cover the action. Fans on their feet. Exciting NASCAR Busch Series action getting set to get underway in Talladega. Foot back straightaway. They will scatter out 3 wide, now 4 wide. Bill Parsons down on the inside of the racetrack in the 59 car.
Jeff Green, that yellow car on the outside, looked like he was going someplace, and now all of a sudden he's going backwards.
Lap 1, rush hour at Talladega Superspeedway. Todd Bodine. Will he lead the Talladega Tango? First time by, it will be Bodine. But he'll get a challenge from LaJoie.
Ron Hornaday up on the high side. This is the Bob Evans Restaurant onboard camera riding with Randy LaJoie, the car that's now leading this race. Look at that group of cars.
Inside lane is LaJoie, then Bodine, then Hank Parker, the Team Marines machine up high. Hornaday, In the Napa Chevy, behind him, the AC Delco car, a couple of rookie drivers, Hornaday and Harvick, in the high lane. You hear those onboard cameras, you hear the engine just whining, you say, when do they lift? They don't. Ray Evernham, you just plant that foot on the floorboard and just hold on.
All the way around. You don't ever want to have to lift here at Talladega. If you do, you're going to end up pretty far back. We'll see some guys just actually drag the brake rather than come off the throttle here.
Kevin Harvick is now caught in the middle, but 3 abreast. This is the battle for the 3rd position.
They're going to shuffle Kenny Wallace to the high side in the Lance Snack Chevy. 33 car, Tony Raines having a good run early on. He falls back in line. Raines is the 4th car in the outside line. The 33 machine. Jeff Green maybe going to get a little bit of help in the middle there. They're 3 wide. One pulling up there behind him to give him a little drafting help. That'll be Kevin Grubb in the 37 car. Timberwolf machine. Looks like a 185-mile-an-hour pace lap of there. Now 4 wide. There's Purvis on the inside. Now 3 wide. About 15th on back. Looks like a squadron of fighter planes. Yeah, that close together. Simultaneously turning left. And headed straight again as Hornaday takes the lead here on lap number 4 at Talladega. I told you that's the car. He led the most laps in with Daytona. Was involved in an accident, finished in the back of the pack, but he was definitely a factor. Driving for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, the Napa Chevrolet. Behind him, Richard Childress on the car for Kevin Harvick. Then Ed Brency's 25 car for Kenny Wallace. So the battle is for 4 spots, side by side.
Practice they had on Thursday before qualifying, Kenny Wallace, the 25, the Lance Snack Chevrolet, had the best time.
Talked about Joe Nemechek. You heard Ray Dunlap commenting about how strong he would be. Well, right now he's mired back in pretty heavy traffic, although he's gained some 10 spots. And there comes Mike Borkowski by, the rookie driver in the AT&T Pontiac. Borkowski was second fastest in happy hour practice. Both he and the 87 car you're riding along with now, the Cellular 1 Chevy, were the top 2.
Ray, that's what you were talking about. Nemechek just has his foot poised on that brake in case he needs to slow down. He just reaches up and taps the brake rather than back off the throttle.
Right, Danny. What happens is when he gets a run, he doesn't want to run right up behind that car and lock himself in there to make a move. He needs to drag the brake to slow the car down rather than get off the gas pedal.
A quality farm and country telemetry. We'll be using that throughout the afternoon. You can see the miles per hour and the RPM. The car is turning.
We've seen cars running 3 wide back in about the second third of the pack now for 7 circle laps, making that middle groove work.
Wow, Jeff Purvis a moment ago down on the flat part of the racetrack, down on the apron. There's a look at Purvis in the Porter Cable Chevrolet. Driving for Joe Gibbs.
And you've heard, folks, we've heard announcers like us talk about the big one at Talladega. What we're talking about is the big wreck. So you can understand, if something happens to one of these cars up front, you have 40 cars in one big group. There's just no way to escape. You're in the crash. Sometimes you can take 20, 25 cars out in one crash.
And it may be hard to see on the screen here, but these cars are running at 190 miles an hour. Last time by the lead draft, 189.560 for Hornaday and company. That time by over 190 miles an hour. There is the speed, 109.431. Blaze Alexander actually turned the quickest lap that time by at 191 miles an hour out in the Sabco Chevy. The car number 17 had to go to a backup car, Matt Kenseth. The causing a wreck in happy hour where he cut a right rear tire. He went to the rear of the field, Benny, and he is making a move.
He was 14th the last time by. Ever seen a Visine car? It's hard to see, Kansas. We're so accustomed to seeing that blue car in the NASCAR Busch Series.
He sold this car to Hank Parker Jr., and they happen to have the car in the truck, talking about Parker Jr.'s team, Marines team, in the truck as a backup. So they went back and bought the car back this morning, and we're putting decals on it when we were in the garage area earlier today. So they got a few laps on it yesterday, but basically from the back to the front, a year-old race car. Talking about Visine Chevrolet. John and Robbie Reiser own that car. It is not a Jack Roush machine. It is owned by Reiser Racing. Matt Kenseth drives that car in the Busch Series. He and Jason Schiller splitting the duty this year. Matt, of course, driving all the way up until last week at Nashville. And Jason Schiller, out of the Remax Challenge, drove the car. Slowly but surely making his way toward the front. We are early on here at Talladega in the 9th running of the Touchstone Energy 300. A pair of rookies lead the way, named Hornaday and Harvick. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway. Here in the early laps of the Touchstone Energy 300, Ron Hornaday in the Napa Chevrolet leading the way. But the scrambles continue throughout the pack. The lead 5 cars are single file, and from their back 6 to about 19th spot, they are 2 by 2, sometimes 3 wide.
Our pole set of the 66 car, Todd Bodine alongside Buckshot Jones. That's a red sponsored Cheez-It car. That is a battle for the 6th position.
Buckshot has come all the way from 30th starting spot. Talking about the 00 on the high side of your screen. Roy Buckshot Jones riding along with Todd Bodine, the Briggs & Stratton onboard camera. That's Jay Sauter. Had a great run in Daytona in this very same car.
There's Randy LaJoie trying to make it 3 wide on the bottom of Jay Sauter. Now, poor Jay's the middle. And there comes Terry Labonte. That Slim Jim number 44. We've talked about him starting back in the 35th position or 33rd position. He's up to about the 10th spot now.
Yeah, this group here is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And on back as Labonte goes inside of Jay Sauter. You look back from the Bob Evans bumper cam from Randy LaJoie. And there is Labonte right side of your screen. Looks like Sauter in the middle and Kevin Grubb to the left in the 37 car.
Now they're 4 wide.
That looks like a Jeff Purvis move, and that is Purvis down the bottom of the racetrack. He is absolutely fearless at Talladega. There they are, 4 wide again.
See Buckshot there, the 00 car alongside Bobby Hamilton. He's now caught in the middle. I would think would be the preferred spot because it really takes away your room to maneuver. You can't come off the corner and let the car drift up. You can't use any racetrack going in, being between cars. You have to be very precise with your line.
I'll tell you, Benny, I'm amazed that with these Busch cars, normally in the middle is not the place to be with an Instant Cup car, but we've seen several guys make that middle line work and get up to the front.
Once again, our Quality Farm and Country onboard telemetry. Randy LaJoie, 192, 194.
Here's our Porter Cable roof camera for Jeff Purvis. Taking a look out at his view. There's a 66 car to the right side of your screen. Todd Bodine. 00 is Buckshot Jones. Purvis now on the bottom of the racetrack. And as Ray Evernham said a moment ago, looks like the middle line beginning to move by a little bit. There's Jay Sauter in his Quality Farm and Fleet Chevy. Now Purvis tries to draft back by, being pushed by Terry Labonte.
Those guys might not have a lot of experience, but they're doing a great job. That's been a rolling parking lot for the last 15 minutes.
Talladega Superspeedway. No other way to describe it. We saw the finish a year ago in this race, 2/1000ths of a second. A photo finish between Nemechek and Texan Terry Labonte.
Once again, Jeff Purvis, a Porter Cable onboard camera, back in the 13th position. And look at him, 3 by 3 at 185, 186 miles per hour going through the corner. No problem.
Together. There's the lead draft. Hornaday side by side for position. Tony Raines having a great run in the Bayer Chevrolet.
Battle for the 4th position. He's alongside Jeff Green. Number 10 Nesquik car. Blaze Alexander behind Jeff Green. Buckshot Jones behind the 33 of Tony Raines. And Randy LaJoie joins this group.
Riding along Randy LaJoie on his Bob Evans Chevrolet. Let's check in his pits with Ray.
Well, Doc, Randy LaJoie was looking at the number 81 car. There's been a lot of radio traffic going on about those guys. I think LaJoie's made the pass now as Blaze Alexander's hung out on the outside. The big problem for Blaze is he cannot see a thing out the front windshield. He said either the 33 or the 43 car, and there's a crash out on the racetrack.
All right, buddy, big crash behind you. Caution's going to be out.
Multi-car crash here on lap number 18 at Talladega.
And once again, that's the big one that we were talking about.
There is
it's not that big. Jason Jarrett is involved. That's a railback car. So David Starr in the 1631W insulation. Then on the inside.
There's Jason Jarrett as their backup car. They lost one car, had some sheet metal damage. They really lose the race car, but they couldn't race it today in happy hour yesterday when a tire was cut in front of him. We'll see what happened here on lap 18. At least a half a dozen cars involved. Entering turn 3.
And right there's a contact between the 34 car of David Green and the 82 of Derek Gilchrist. And Green goes around. Mike Dillon's involved. There we see David Starr in the 16 car. And Matt Hunter, the 51 car, is involved. 53 car, Hank Parker Jr. is involved. Another angle. Here's where they make the contact. 4 abreast. We keep holding our breaths when they get 4 abreast. That's why we hold our breath, because, again, they have to be so precise. Looks like Jimmy Johnson, the 92 car, also involved, right?
Yeah, it does, Benny. And, you know, when you're down that low on the racetrack, it looked like the left front wheel from David Green's car might have just clipped the apron, and it's really hard to make a car turn when that happens, and I think it just shot him up the racetrack a little bit.
You see our cameras above showing you Green's car spinning around. Hank Parker Jr. unable to avoid it, trying to go up high around the outside in that Team Marine Chevrolet. So at least 7 cars involved as caution being shown. And the first pit stop of the day is the order here on lap number 19.
Now, how many will Bill Weber.
Pit strategy coming into play early. This is a fuel-only stop for Ron Hornaday. Fuel only. He's on his way. They are having trouble communicating. Hornaday's having trouble hearing on the radio. Hooray.
Same thing down on this end, Bill. Fuel only for Joe Nemechek and Terry Labonte. And Nemechek's going to get out a little bit quicker than Terry Labonte did. A lot of cars coming down pit road.
All the Visine crew there a moment ago servicing Matt Kenseth, who started in the back of the pack in that backup car. A little bit of strategy here. Fuel only, Ray Evernham.
Well, they probably found out with the Busch cars that the tires weren't important, but they want to be able to run as far as they can. I don't think they could go all the way there. I noticed they had Terry's car jacked up on the left side. Normally when you jack a car up on the left side on a fuel stop, what you're trying to do is pack as much fuel in it as you can. So it is an interesting strategy.
There's a look at Mike Dillon's Rockwell Automation car number 21. He was involved in that incident over there. One of 7 cars involved in an incident on lap 18, bringing out the first caution flag of the day when David Green's car had some contact with Derek Gilchrist. Hank Parker Jr. involved, David Starr, Jason Jarrett, Jimmy Johnson, and of course that 21 car of Mike Dillon. We are working caution for the first time today at Talladega Superspeedway. Action hot and heavy here on the high banks. NASCAR Busch Series style. There's the contact. There's the spin. And here comes the big wreck everybody worries about at Talladega. Back with more in a... Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway. Working caution for the first time today, coming out on lap number 18. A number of cars involved. David Green's car number 34, the AFG glass. There is the remains of his Chevrolet. Coming down on the track apron, come up across the racetrack. Derek Gilchrist there involved. There's Hank Parker, David Green. We mentioned David Starr, Jeff Purvis, Matt Hutter involved, Jason Jarrett, and Mike Dillon among those involved in this incident here as they try to get Rick Rathman's Team Marines car repaired and back out. Now, pit stops did take place during this caution flag. Show you the pit summary. Hornaday, gas only, in and out for the Napa crew. Harvey came in second, out third. Big loser there was Tony Raines, Benny.
I would guess that Tony Raines changed some tires on that stop and put him all the way back to 13th. And how about, man, and see Jeff Green have him all the way back to the 33rd position.
All right, while we have track cleanup ongoing, we'll take another break and come back with green flag racing from Talladega in the Touchstone Energy 300. Back at Talladega Superspeedway. A moment ago, I might have mentioned Jeff Purvis involved in the incident. Purvis was not involved in the Porter Cable Chevrolet, the 51 car of Matt Hutter. That is Purvis's old number, 51, and a car of Matt Hutter involved along with Jimmy Johnson, Mike Dillon, Hank Parker Jr., Derek Gilchrist, David Green, David Starr, and Jason Jarrett. Those are the 8 cars that we have officially listed as being involved in this lap 18 incident, bringing out caution for the first time today.
The signal, you saw the signal as we were going to break from the flagman. There's one more lap to go before the green. So we've come off turn 4, green flag about to wave.
Kenseth, who had to start shotgun on the field in the car number 17, and Visine Chevy all the way up to 9th spot as Matt Abernathy green flag.
And you see all those cars up against the outside retaining wall. NASCAR rules on a restart, you can only pass to the right, so they're all up against the wall, so no one passes them before they get to the start-finish line. Now they can start passing. Go to it, boy.
That restrictor plate takes about 2/3 of a lap for them to get up to speed. Here at massive 2.66-mile Talladega. There, Kevin Harvick up close and personal with Todd Bodine right on the Bob Evans restaurant bumper for Randy LaJoie. There's Harvick to the right side of your screen. A little bump drafting might have helped LaJoie.
Looked like he shot him out a couple of car lengths.
Like he was shot.
Out of Canyon.
Yep. Eddie's famous line from a year ago. There's Lyndon Amick in the car number 35. He's making his way toward the front after starting toward the back of the pack. No qualifying here. Just joined us, the field was set by points and by provisionals from owners' points a year ago, and by qualifying draw. There was no qualifying because of the rain and inclement weather. They go 4 wide down the 4,000-foot back straightaway.
Looks like Kevin Harvick is off the pace. He's up front, and now these cars are shooting by him on the outside. Talking about the number 2 AC Delco car. car at the side of the 17, Joe Nemechek.
Watch Kenny Irwin make a move. Whoa, down to the bottom of the racetrack. Contact between Irwin and Tony Raines. As Irwin went down on the flat part of the racetrack.
His choice was to get out of the gas or get on the brake or get that thing back up on the racetrack.
There's the Bell South Chevy going by. There's his teammate, Blaze Alexander, the 81 car, the track-phone Chevy. Both the Sapco cars running well.
That looks like Harvick is back up to speed, so I guess that he just was caught out of the draft momentarily. He's in the middle of it and seems to be keeping up 3 wide in the middle.
We told you it's a hold-your-breath racing here. Let's show you again. Watch Kenny Irwin, the 42 car, left side of your screen, dead on the apron, and boom.
Wow. That's exactly how that accident happened up in turn 3 just a moment ago. This time, we're just lucky nothing like that happened. Watch Kenny Irwin on board, as you said, Ray. He's got a great run on these cars.
The draft just pulls him up there. It's like a vacuum. He's got momentum, and he needed to get back up on the racetrack before he got to that apron.
He got there. Courtesy of the left side door of Tony Raines.
And I tell you, you don't want to rub those tires too much, because you puncture one, you're in big trouble.
Let's check into Randy LaJoie pits with Bill Weber.
Well, Randy LaJoie pitted. He got fuel only, but the left side of his car was dinged up pretty good. I talked to the crew. They said that's just LaJoie's style. At Daytona, at the end of the race, the car looked like it had competed at Martinsville. So his car is fine. It just doesn't look too good. Can't say the same for the 10 car Jeff Green. He came down, was going to pick right side tires only and fuel. Then they wanted to tear away the plastic cover on the windshield. When they did, it ripped in half. Jeff went ahead and took off, but said he could not race like that, so he had to make a second stop on pit road to take away the rest of the tearaway. Then he got left side tires and topped it off with fuel, went from the front back to 30-30 and worked his way back up to 28.
In the Busch Series drivers meeting prior to this race today, John Darby, Busch Series director, said, guys, last week we were at short track at Nashville, and you drove like it was a game of checkers, quick hops and quick jumps. Today, it's at Talladega. It's a chess game. You got to calculate and think about your moves before you make it. Pretty good advice, I think.
Now we see the 10 car that Bill Weber was talking about, Jeff Green, as he tries to find his way back to the front. He was up to 30th spot that time. And look, how does he get through all those cars? Here's Joe Nemechek, the 87 car, started back in 35th, is now up to the 3rd position.
In Daytona, he started 26th and finished 2nd in this same race car.
And not too very far back is Matt Kenseth in that 17 car, from going back all the way to the rear of the field at the start of the race.
There's a serial on Joe Nemechek, the former Busch Series champion, 1992 Series champion, former winner here. We mentioned there have been 8 races, 8 different drivers have won. Nemechek won this race 2 years ago from the pole. This time it's been won from the pole. There's his second of 1 Chevrolet holding 3rd, looking back at Bobby Hamilton Jr. Well, the first incident of the day involved David Green and 7 other drivers in turn 3. And fortunately, Bill Weber, you caught up with the driver that was possibly the most seriously concerned.
Well, a short day for the former Busch Series champion. You okay?
I'm fine, Bill.
What happened, Dave?
Hey, told myself I was going to stay in line. Helped Todd and Randy LaJoie was going to stay in line. See, the last time I stayed in line, it took me right to the back, and a lot of inexperienced, gung-ho guys out there, and I got clipped in the right rear right there. I was trying to stay out of trouble. I knew it was going to happen. Then got clipped in the right rear and turned me right in the track, and after that it was long for the ride. But I want to say hi to my granddad. He's recovering today from some surgery, and hopefully Jeff will win this race today, and it'll be a good weekend.
Okay, so he's a cheerleader now for his brother. His car heavily damaged here in the garage.
Boy, David Green 5th in points coming in. Glad to see him being able to smile. That was a pretty violent impact he took there on the racetrack.
I cannot believe those guys are making that middle lane work like that. It's just not used to seeing cars be able to run in the middle without going all the way to the back.
Those are the comments of Ray Evernham, veteran crew chief, having won 3 Winston Cup championships with Jeff Gordon at Hendrick Motorsports. He is one of our expert analysts today, along with Benny Parsons. I'm Jerry Punch. We got Bill Weber and Ray Dunlap in the pits, covering exciting Busch Series action from Talladega.
And we got Joe Nemechek trying to take over that 2nd spot. About the 87 car, he has Bobby Hamilton Jr., the 26 behind him, trying to hook up in the draft. But meanwhile, Hornaday goes down. The leader goes down to try to help Kenny Wallace.
And that will help that second pack running side by side because Mike McLaughlin in the Gould's Pump Chevy is leading that second pack. We're about 7th on back, and they are catching the leaders, and now they have caught that lead 7.
Bobby Hamilton choosing to run the 1999 style Monte Carlo. Looks like it was a good choice for him.
There's a look at Hamilton, the 26 car, running in 4th spot. Abe Carroll Motorsports. Hamilton started 6th in Daytona at the beginning of the year. They broke a rear shock mount at Daytona and weren't able to show what they could do, and now he is hung in the middle. We'll see if that middle groove will indeed work for Bobby Hamilton Jr. Here comes Kenny Wallace with drafting help from Mike McLaughlin and company. Can Wallace make it work on Hornaday?
Looks like he can. It looks like he got a great push from the 48 car. Now we see the 3-car Hornaday in the middle, and looks like he might have backed off a little bit going in turn 3. Now he's all the way back to about 5th position. I'll take that back to 3rd. I'll make that 6th. Happens quick around here, folks.
It happens in a hurry on the high banks at Talladega as Kenny Wallace becomes our 4th different leader. And Matt Kenseth from 43rd on the field is in 2nd position, just like he did at Daytona. It heats up in a hurry at Talladega. 33 laps are in the books. Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway. I'm Jerry Punch along with Ray Evernham, Benny Parsons, Ray Dunlap, and Bill Weber. They were just about 5 abreast a moment ago, and they are now.
Well, they're wrecking. They just don't know it yet. Man, oh, man.
We keep talking about the middle line.
How did they not wreck that time? Because they made all kinds of contact going down in the corner.
Oh, I don't know, but that's what, when we keep talking about the line, there is no line. It's just one big line, like you said, Benny, all the way from the grass to the wall.
Like a big runway for an airport. I mean, there are no lanes at all. There comes Nemechek down the middle of the runway. There's the Gould's Pumps Chevrolet for Mike McLaughlin, who finally had some good luck this year, finishing 2nd at Nashville last week from the 11th starting spot. Guys, take a look at this a moment ago.
Watch this, folks. Going down in turn 1, the 43 car, the white car right there. He and Michael Rich almost made contact. There, they do make contact.
Wow.
Man, and they'll probably hit again before this is over with. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yep, let's... Wow. Well, LaJoy is leading it. If I can breathe long enough to tell you about it, LaJoy is leading it. There's Kenseth on the inside in the Visine car. Told you his story about going to the backup car. Hornaday, 3-car, 2-time Cup champions, a rookie. There is Nemechek, the winner here 2 years ago. There's Kenseth to the right side of your screen. Got hung out a moment ago, and yet he's still climbing back a little bit on the inside, right?
Yeah, he was waving his arm in the air there like, please, somebody come with me. We've got a good car here. And it looks like Hut Strickland's jumped up behind him to help him out.
How about Bobby Hamilton Jr., young second-generation driver? We've talked about Bobby Hamilton. His dad, of course, drives a Kodak Chevrolet Winston Cup. Had the big win at the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race last Monday at Martinsville. There's Hamilton Jr., the Abe Carroll Motorsports machine, number 26.
I think we've got to give Buckshot Jones a call, but where did he go back to? 34th position after that pit stop just a moment ago. And here he is back in the top 10.
Yeah, Buckshot came out actually after a gas and go and came back down pit road and had to restart, as you said, Vinny, back in 34th position. It was called a double-off Buckshot. Buckshot started 4th and finished 8th in Daytona, so he has run well in the super speedways this year.
Here comes Buckshot on the inside, trying to take over that 3rd spot. He's got McLaughlin in the middle now. McLaughlin backs off a little, and trying to follow Buckshot.
Sandy Jones, a veteran crew chief, preparing the Cheez-It Pontiac for Buckshot Jones. Take a look at, oh my goodness, 4 wide with Blaze Alexander on the high side. There's Hornaday. There they are, still 4 wide, and Hamilton, well, he backs out a little bit. They're 4 wide behind him. Kevin Grubb is there. Kenny Wallace is there. 25 cars, Wallace. 37 is Grubb. 26, Hamilton. The 81 is Blaze Alexander.
Looks pretty amazing that they're going 4 wide through the turns on the straightaway, but how are they making it work through the trials, if any?
I'm not exactly sure. They're still 4 wide, and there they are.
It's amazing they're 4 wide, and they're staying like that. Now Purvis pulls up. Whoop, uh-oh, squeezing. Nice quick squeeze there a moment ago for Jeff Green.
And look at Hut Strickland there back in the 61 car. Just goes right by. Was that the 20 car, Volkowski?
I don't know why they sold suits. That many people are sitting down. They're all standing and watching. They just cannot believe the action they're seeing. We told you every year when the Busch cars come to Talladega, the fans expect the racing and the finishes to get better, and they haven't been disappointed. Lead change, well, almost up front is Matt Kenseth will go to the lead or try to go to the lead for the first time today.
As a push from Buckshot Jones. Meanwhile, Nemechek has Randy LaJoie, and here comes Tony Raines, the 33 car, to help Buckshot and Kenseth out. Well, he's not trying to help them out. He's trying to help himself out and gain some positions.
Bob Evans, onboard camera. Randy LaJoie, 2-time Busch Series champion, looking up straight ahead at Joe Nemechek.
Kevin Harvick, one of our rookies on the inside line, about the 4th car back on the inside lane.
I guess that answers my question. He's okay because there he is battling about the 5th position.
I am so impressed with Tony Raines in the 33 car. They changed engine builders 2 races ago and have Raymont, Bob Rahilly engines on board for Nashville and Texas, and this is the 3rd event, and this team has taken off. We are approaching the halfway point here. We're about 15 laps away from halfway as 42 laps are complete at Talladega, and Matt Kenseth is showing the way. Back in a moment. Last year on the streets of Long Beach, Juan Montoya's first career win paved the way to his kart championship. In 1999, rival Dario Franchitti won 3 straight races and finished second to Montoya at Long Beach. Sunday at 5 Eastern, these 2 men who finished 1-2 in 1999's championship race face off at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach on ESPN. That's tomorrow, 5 Eastern time. Hart today, leading it out at 10:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Matt Kenseth showing the way here at Talladega. In the car number 17, behind him the 00, Buckshot Jones. Tony Raines in the Mayer Chevrolet is 3rd. Rookie Kevin Harvick is 4th. Kenny Wallace is 5th in the Lance Chevy. And then take a guess from there on back. They are 2 by 2.
There's Phil Parsons on the outside, and Elton Sawyer battle for the 6th position. There's Phil in the 59. Elton Sawyer looks to have taken that spot away. Here comes Hornaday alongside Phil. Hornaday in the 3, and Casey Atwood, the 27.
Castrol car, we're talking about Atwood there. They had some trouble in Daytona. Put a different body on this car and have come back here. Talladega running much more competitively. Right along with the bumper cam for Joe Nemechek, his Cellular One Nortel Network Chevrolet.
See where the door was knocked in on that 42 car. Ray, Kenny Irwin has banged the door in at Talladega. Something you'd think you'd be doing on a short track, but they've been bouncing off each other at Talladega about like a short track.
I was going to say, Benny, as close as they've been running, I'm surprised that we don't have a lot of donuts and a lot more banged indoors. It has been an unbelievable race. Almost 50 laps complete, and they were 3-4 wide, and there's still one giant pack of cars.
Challenge for 3rd position. Raines getting on the inside. Here goes Harvick.
Stay right there, baby. Stay right there.
Tony Raines waving to get a little help from Hornaday. There goes Harvick on the high side.
And all of a sudden, Buckshot.
There you go. Still there, still there. Clear all around, baby. Come on. Get right behind Kenson.
Buckshot was right behind the 17 of Kansas. He goes in turn 3 and drifted up the racetrack and has given away a couple of spots.
Up under you. Keep it low.
That is Tony Raines' spotter we're listening to. Watching the action 3 wide. Here's, let's go 4 wide. Why not? We've done it about a half a dozen times in the last 3 laps. Action on the bottom of the racetrack. 65 laps to go here at Talladega. Oh,
Buckshot, Jones, Kenny Wallace almost get together as they go in the corner 3 wide. That's Nemechek on the bottom, Buckshot in the middle, and Kenny Wallace on the outside. And now they're forming up 3 by 3 behind them.
take a look at this sandwich here. The Porter Cable roof camera for Jeff Purvis shows that he is following right behind Bobby Hamilton Jr. And how about Trickle on the bottom of the racetrack? Dick Trickle in the Snyder Trucking Chevrolet. Car owned by Jimmy Spencer. Started 16th, currently running 16th. Trying to move on the inside of the Kingsford car of Phil Parsons. And just to the right side of your screen, the Nesquik Chevrolet, that bright yellow and blue number 10 for Jeff Green. He is making a charge back. Right in front of the 48 car, this Gould's Pump roof camera. You're riding along with Mike McLaughlin. And there's the Nesquik car we're talking about. That's the same car that tumbled 6 times side over side at Daytona. Well, it's the same roll cage. Let's say it was all brand new, I should say. For Jeff Green. Just joined us. There's been one caution flag. It came out on lap number 8. David Green's car had some contact with Derek Gilchrist. There's the 82 car. The channel lock machine on pit road as they get 4 tires on that machine. Look at this. Back on the racetrack. Coming on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Elton Sawyer in the car number 98. There's Hornaday in the middle as the back of his car wiggles a little bit. There's LaJoy, the car number 1 on the inside.
They're moving a lot of air around out there. There's some cars coming from the back of the pack.
He's got horses. Just stay right where you are. Stay right where you are.
Hearing the spotter say stay right where you are. I guess I would too.
Not afraid to move at all.
What I was saying, that they've blown such a big hole in the air, there's cars that are able to come up through that pack, and they're running 3 or 4 miles an hour faster than the cars ahead of them.
Clear inside if you want it.
Seeing the Lysol Ford for the first time today. Elton Sawyer making a move now.
Still behind you. He's got horses.
Look at Harvick just dive in the middle of that deal. That 2 car, he just dove right in the middle. And Ray, you know, you're right. Used to, someone would never think about doing this.
These guys have been able to do that all day long and get away with it.
I got to have some horsepower, too. Randy Barnes out of Richard Childress Racing builds the engines in that car number 2. He's got to be smiling. Know that Harvick can pull up with
Stay right there, baby. Stay right there. You got a whole lot of horses behind you. You're leading, baby.
And Tony Raines
Clear all
takes
around.
the lead.
Put that money does to your Ranger. 500, buddy. Just stay right there. Buckshot will stay with you. I'll go talk to him.
First time Tony Raines has led in the year 2000. How about that unscheduled pit stop on the 82 car? Let's check in their pits.
Well, Derek Gilchrist is back in the pits now. He had radioed in, said, I have a flat right rear tire, but they took all 4 tires off the car. There was no flat, so it's apparently a shock that is broken, and they're looking on the right front right now, so it may be a broken shock that has brought the channel lock car to the pits.
This is Jimmy Johnson, one of the cars that was involved in the earlier crash. Where did he come? Where did Jeff Purvis come from? He's now the leader. He's taking over from Tony Raines, and watch these cars just go blowing by Jimmy Johnson.
Wow. Hornaday by. There's Kenseth, Hamilton Jr. Jeff Green is there. And Jeff Purvis Being shown as our 8th different leader here at Talladega. 8 drivers. 8 different leaders. They've swapped the lead 9 times. We've had 1 caution flag and 1 only. It was out for 4 laps. As we are just 4 laps away from the halfway point at Talladega Superspeedway. Why do the fans love to come here? Why do folks love to watch NASCAR at Talladega? You're seeing it right here. Side-by-side action. Back in a moment. We welcome you back to Talladega Superspeedway. I'm Jerry Punch along with Benny Parsons, Ray Evernham, Ray Dunlap, and Bill Weber, bringing you exciting live NASCAR Busch action at the world's fastest stock car facility, Talladega. Our leader currently right now is Jeff Purvis in the car number 4, the Porter Cable colors for Joe Gibbs Racing.
They go by this time, take the signal halfway. Folks, you got just as much to see as you've seen already.
Not hard to stand it, Benny. I mean,
It's not going to get much better than this.
it's not at all. Let's check in the Matt Kenseth pit with Bill Weber.
Well, Matt Kenseth is sponsored by Visine Advanced Relief. That comes in a blue package, and he normally drives a blue race car. But he lost that in happy hour here yesterday. The reason that car is black is because they had to buy that car here yesterday morning. They bought it back from Hank Parker Jr. After Matt tested his cars for this season, they decided this is the one they wouldn't need. So they sold it to Parker. They bought it back yesterday after he crashed. They put the decals on it, and when it took the green flag, that was the first lap it had turned since this race last year.
Man, oh man, they are trying their best to crash. That's a good chance.
A lot of hand signals, some finger signals being given down there in that traffic as they point to which way they want them to go and get in line.
Kenny Irwin on board with him.
Todd Bodine, right side of your screen. That is Elton Sawyer, the Lysol Ford. Jack Roush Power aboard the 98 car. There's Bodine, the points leader, who was the pole sitter by virtue of starting without qualifying, starting by the points lineup there, being shown in the 11th position. Sawyer.
Right now we have about 7 cars in the lead. The first 7 cars from Nemechek up to Jeff Purvis. They've all gotten in line, and they pulled away from this group by about a second. Yeah, they were in line when that first time.
Looking back off the Porter Cable bumper cam, back at Buckshot Jones 00 in second spot. There's Bobby Hamilton Jr. There is Jeff Green, the Nesquik Chevrolet, back in the game. Doesn't have much help on the bottom of the racetrack, Ray Evernham, but he's sort of trying to hang on.
I think he's going to need to get in line. But how about that 2 car of Richard Childress's? Kevin's been had that car in the middle of the racetrack, up and down and all over the place, gets shuffled to the back and just drives up to the front. That's a strong race car.
I think Kevin Harvick, I'd get out and find Lanny Barnes and give him a big hug. Might even give him a kiss because that car, whoa, trouble.
Go low. You got a spin at 1 and 2.
LaJoie is involved. Jason Leffler is involved. Heavy contact with 33 of Tony Raines. Heavy impact. There is Raines. Alka-Seltzer.
Somebody got into LaJoie.
We sure did. We see a lot of tremendous damage.
Get that toolbox in the garage.
Brandon LaJoie's car.
Heavy damage on the Bob Evans Chevrolet. There's the roof camera. See the whole front of the car mashed in. Dick Trickle likewise involved in the Snyder trucking machine.
See Trickle talking to his crew.
Boy, the whole front of that car is just shoved back in. Fortunately, he's pushing the button on the steering wheel, which is the radio button, to talk to his crew to let him know he's okay. See, the safety crews are already there. Let's show you again what happened here on lap 60 just moments ago.
Dick Trickle gets together with the 43 car of Jay Sauter. Oh, the wreck's going on already. LaJoie comes up and bam! Trickle, all that damage to Trickle's car is in the left side of LaJoie's car.
Like Trickle was trying to get up across the racetrack. He must have seen the one car spinning, had nowhere to go because there were two cars to his outside, and he tagged the one car of LaJoie right in the door.
That's the 35 car of Lyndon Amick, the black and white car that you see there. Casey Atwood drives through.
Different angle looking back at turn 2 again.
Tim Fedewa, Jason Leffler, Tony Raines.
Just in front of the left side door. Sorry, Benny, is where the impact was for Trickle and LaJoie. See Amick's car spinning. And now from Randy LaJoie's onboard camera. Dick Trickle, Snyder, trucking roof camera.
Right there we see the contact with the one car of Lyndon Amick. Oh, my goodness.
Trickle had nowhere to go. As pit stops are happening, let's check in with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Joe Nemechek is in here, Jerry, and they've got the right side tires on coming around here. Fuel is going in. Looks like this is going to be a two-tire stop only. He is down and away. Looking as Terry Labonte comes in right behind him, and Terry was kind of coasting back there. He had said on the radio a couple of times, he's just waiting for the big wreck. Now to Bill Weber.
The 17 is on pit road. The 4 car is also on pit road. It's a 4-tire change. Going to be a lot of traffic to try and weave your way out here. The 17's away. The 3 cars already away. The 4's away, and the 10 follows them down pit road.
Well, this is lap 61, and interestingly enough, as you watch one of the cars being pushed away, that was a Jason Keller car being pushed away. There is the safety crews that are working on some of the drivers involved in this incident here. There's Randy LaJoie as they're there working with Randy. He is awake, able to take a deep breath, and that is good to see. Able to talk to the safety crews. When that impact a moment ago, his car came back up across the racetrack, and Dick Trickle, who had tried to move up, but Sauter was in another car above him, so he had nowhere to go, and he just tags LaJoie right in the driver's door. When you see that kind of impact, it does make you want to hold your breath.
Really does. And he got hit hard on the left side, but then the car went up into the wall and hit hard on the right side, so he took 2 hard hits side to side.
And now you appreciate why NASCAR spends so much time with safety inspection, making sure these cars are safe. We'll be back. Back at Talladega Superspeedway here in Talladega, Alabama. We are past the halfway point here in the 9th running of the Touchstone Energy 300. Working caution for the 2nd time a day, which came out on lap 60. An incident involving about 6 or 7 cars out of turn 2. The most heavily damaged, the number 1 of Randy LaJoie, the 2-time Busch Series champion in the Bob Evans Restaurant Chevrolet. Once again, lap number 60. Here's what happened riding along in the Bob Evans Restaurant onboard camera.
Right there he gets tapped. The car goes back up the racetrack. And he is just along for the ride right now. Dick Trickle was right behind LaJoie when they had this crash. He's the fellow that ran in to the left side of Randy LaJoie's car.
And if you just joined us, we had an in-car camera there with LaJoie. We saw him awake, able to talk to the safety crews there, and they were able to get him out, take him down to the infield care center, get him checked out. But that is certainly great news. You see where that impact was? Right in front of the one, right behind the left front tire.
NASCAR mandates a roll cage. There's 4 bars. You can almost see them in that shot. There's 4 bars along the side of that car that NASCAR puts in there. The bars have to be exactly 95 thousandths of an inch thick. It actually is a protective frame for the driver, and those bars did their job.
And what they're doing in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and they're going to actually enforce it, I believe, in Busch and Winston Cup. They're going to add a bar up here on the side of the car in the front. They're going to add those bars in the left front and right front and the left rear and right rear to be able to take up that potential space in front of the tire and behind the tire so that if the cars come together, a car can't come up over on top of another one. So they're already going to do that in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and probably consider it in the Busch and Winston Cup. Once again, Dick Trickle, Snyder Trucking onboard camera, and listen to this impact. There, Randy LaJoie able to get out of the car and wave to the crowd, and that is certainly the best sight you could ever want to see. Likeable driver, two-time series champion. He finished second here back in 1993. Had a great run that day. In only the second ever Busch Series event held at Talladega, he finished second to Dale Earnhardt. Well, from a win last week at Nashville, Tennessee, to moving all the way to second in points to the hard knocks on the high banks at Talladega. Back with more here in just a moment. Now, next week, ESPN's cameras will go out to the West Coast as NASCAR's Winston Cup and Busch have the weekend off. But how about the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series? Going to head out for the Oregon 225, 3 Eastern Time, noon Pacific next Saturday. That's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck action. And we could see history made out there, Benny Parsons. If the rains move in, they will still race.
They said they're going to race. It is a road course. They've made all the preparations and told the teams be ready to race because in the Northwest, it rains a great deal.
NASCAR's exciting Craftsman Truck Series out at Oregon on the 1.95-mile Portland International Raceway road course. That's next Saturday at 3 Eastern Time. Let's check in back in the pits with Bill Weber.
I want to update a couple of guys on the track. First of all, Kenny Wallace, during the first caution flag stop at lap 19, they took fuel only. On this stop, they took fuel and right side tires only. That helped them beat almost everybody off of pit road. As for another car that's been running up front that has had a tenuous day on pit road, it's the 10 car of Jeff Green. This time when he pitted, he stopped in the wrong pit stall because his windshield was so covered with oil, he literally couldn't see his pit board. He had to roll forward, and then they made the pit stop, but it did cost him time on pit road. To Ray Dunlap.
Bill, I'm down in Joe Nemechek's pit, and I've been listening to the radio a little bit. Brian Patty got on and just told Joe, we're good to go on fuel, and the tires are great, so there's no problem there. And they've been canvassing pit road here to try to talk to some of these other cars, especially Hornaday and Kenny Wallace, and said, let's get these front 3 or 4 cars away from this group. And that way, if the big crash happens again, we'll be nowhere near it. So Joe Nemechek car, very, very good, and they're good to go to the end.
Well, that's good to hear that they're okay on fuel mileage, and a lot of concern this weekend about fuel mileage here. Here's the 34 car, David Green. What's left of the 34 car of David Green. And how about, there's the heavy damage on the Bob Evans Restaurants Chevrolet. Wow, came in here second in points, just 8 points behind Todd Bodine, and looked to be one of the cars to beat. The whole front of that car is pushed back and away. I don't think there's any way they'd have a chance of repairing that thing, getting it back on the racetrack. Working caution number 2 on the day, coming out on lap 60. 7 cars involved in an incident out of turn 2. Back in a moment. Back at Talladega Superspeedway, action ongoing all over this racetrack. You want to update your favorite driver, what's happening in the garage area? How about logging on to the Information Superhighway? NASCAR online at www.nascar.com. Real-time information about your favorite driver, what's happening, where they're running, how many laps ahead or behind they are. We also have a NASCAR online camera mounted in the NASCAR garage area. You can keep up to date with what's happening with your favorite NASCAR Winston Cup driver as they prepare to run here on Sunday. NASCAR online, www.nascar.com.
Signal has been given to the field, 1 lap to go before the green flag. So the fans are taking this opportunity to sit down and rest a little bit before the green flag. They'll jump back up to the feet and watch this action.
I think their legs are worn out. They've been standing and jumping so much as we have here in the tower watching this exciting action. I'm sure a lot of times the drivers, Ray Evernham, the drivers who come to Daytona and Talladega, so they don't want to come in the stands and watch practice or watch a race, because if they saw how it looked from up here, they probably wouldn't want to do it.
Well, after sitting up here with you guys and watching some of this, I know when I'm down on pit road next year, I'm going to have certainly a different view. This has been an exciting race. A lot goes on, spotters, the NASCAR spotters, the people that the NASCAR allows to go up on top of the building and help the drivers, do a tremendous job guiding these guys through some trouble.
Cars in line. The lights have been turned off atop the Pontiac safety car.
Chad Chapman is down on the inside. He's one lap down.
And the safety car will peel away, and there are the spotters on top of the tower as they watched the field come roaring back to life as the crowd up on their feet. Here comes Joe Nemechek, the 1992 champion and winner here 2 years ago, leading him down as we restart on lap 69. Caution number 2 out for 7 laps. Back to green flag racing. Nemechek, the leader. Second one, Chevy. Lance colors of Kenny Wallace back behind him. Then there comes the 3 car of Hornaday, the 4 of Purvis. All 4 Chevrolets. The front 4. 5th place car. Good run from Blaze Alexander, the 1996 ARCA Rookie of the Year. Track-on Chevy for Felix Savadas.
Now Felix is getting a challenge from the Felix's car is getting a challenge from the 26 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. And Blaze Alexander lost 2 spots as Jeff Green, the Nesquik car, goes by.
Tucked up right beneath the 10 car is the Visine Chevy of Matt Kenseth. Right along with the Portal Cable bumper cam, looking on the backside of Jeff Purvis at Bobby Hamilton Jr. Boy, he's a talented young man. Driving that car number 26, and he'll make a move to the inside for position. That would be for the 5th spot or the 4th spot. Front 3 cars, single file, and they are side by side through about 10th or 12th position. There comes the Visine Chevy for Matt Kenseth.
Tell you what, he has just drove up on the inside and trying to take away positions. He's now back to about 7th or 8th.
As the front cars are doing the work, blowing the hole in the air, we'll start to see some of those guys coming from the back of the pack in that big vacuum with a lot more room and some bumping.
You'll have some bumping. Blaze Alexander closed up right on the back bumper of Jeff Purvis. The 4 car did not run in the back of him.
There are 16 cars in the lead draft, some of which are 3 wide. There they are, 3 wide. Buckshot, the 00 Cheez-It car, left side of your screen. Now we see Hornaday in the 3 car pulling down, trying to get a little drafting push from behind by Bobby Hamilton Jr.
See the 63 car of Mark Green in there. Back in 8th position. First time I've seen him today.
Challenge for position, 2nd spot up for grabs. Here's Hornaday, bottom of the racetrack. Wallace in the middle, Purvis up high. Take your pick. It could be one of 3 and 4 cars with you. Wow. How about 11 cars? You can put a blanket over them.
Clear up high. You clear up high.
Now watch Hornaday just ease in on the 87 car of Joe Nemechek.
And here comes Bobby Hamilton. He eased too much because that allowed Bobby Hamilton to drive to the inside. Try to take over that, whatever that spot is, 3rd or 4th.
All right, going to be one huge pack. Here is Hamilton Jr. getting a little push from behind by Jeff Green. Hornaday's the man without a partner. He's in the middle. For Joe Nemechek, you're watching that mirror saying, man, what a race they're having back there.
And I'm glad not in it.
Second pack now catching that first pack, so making about 27 cars all together. Separates the top 23 race cars here at Talladega with 40 laps to go. Wow.
And Mike McLaughlin drives to the inside of the 2 car. This is Todd Bodines on board, Briggs and Stratton on board. Todd is back in about the 12th position.
Lap 190.174 miles per hour. Ray Evernham, this draft at 3 wide. These cars are all being clocked in the top 7 or 8 over 190 miles an hour.
It's unbelievable. We're seeing guys change 3 and 4 miles an hour. It's been like this all day. I cannot believe that these guys can run 3 and 4 wide like that, especially through the tri-oval, and still make it work.
Here's Kevin Harvick back. Richard Childress Racing. Lots of horsepower, lots of talent by that rookie driver in the AC Delco Chevrolet. He's the car number 2. You mentioned Mark Green, the Exxon Superflow, car number 63. We're seeing him now in the mix. Good run for the Hensley Motorsports team. Mark, the oldest of the 3 Green brothers out of Owensboro, Kentucky. Pretty famous town for race car drivers. Mike McLaughlin's Gould's Pumps Chevy. Ford Chevy, our own team. Right on Hornaday's rear bumper. .4,000-foot back straightaway. Looks like a drag strip. There's Phil Parsons in a 59 car. And Texan Terry Labonte, the 44 car, the Slim Jim Chevy that won, the same car that won here a year ago. Flash by. Now make it 25 cars. They're within 2.5 seconds of the lead as laps are winding down here at Talladega. Joe Nemechek is the leader. Laps are winding down here at Talladega. There are the lead cars. Joe Nemechek, front row Joe. He was called in Winston Cup racing because of his ability to qualify on the pole or on the front row. Former Busch Series champion, showing the Cellular 1 colors to the front of the field. Behind him, Matt Kenseth in the car number 17. Backup car came from the back of the pack. Had to buy this car back from Hank Parker Jr. They had sold it to at the end of last year. He's in second spot. Double off Buckshot. Roy Buckshot Jones in third. Purvis is fourth. And Jeff Green's Nesquik Chevy showing his fifth spot.
These guys are, I want to say, kind of content to run in line. As I say that, they'll probably get 4 abreast off the corner, but it looks like they're kind of, oh yeah, they're really getting dicey now off the corner.
They look content to me, Benny.
They need to get away. I thought they wanted to get away from this group of cars behind them.
And that would be the way to do it, to hook up single file.
Single file and just try to get away from those guys, but not having too good right now. There's that big group of cars that I was talking about, that if these guys can hook up and get in line, they might pull away, but that's not going to happen as Harvick now has the toe and is going to run them down and lead this whole group back up on the back bumper.
Well, that time by 191.2 miles an hour for the leaders. Kenseth over 191.2. Nemechek 191.1. That second pack coming, Ray Evernham with some pretty good speed as well.
Yeah, the cars further behind are actually the 25 car back there in 6th, 192.5 miles an hour.
I told you the points battle very, very close coming into the day. some of the drivers, look at LaJoy, involved in an incident. He will lose the second position. Green back there involved. You see some of the drivers who could move up significantly and back. The top 15 in our Napa field summary with this current Busch Series points update.
And now we've got a battle for the lead. Kenseth is on the bottom of the racetrack. Bobby Hamilton Jr.
Ready at 26 strong.
On the outside, trying to take away that second spot, and here comes Kenny Wallace.
Inside, outside.
Inside, outside.
Clear all around.
Listening to Kenny Wallace's radios.
Side.
This the same car we're talking
Lane,
about.
either lane.
Car number 25. Kenny Wallace started 35th with at Daytona and finished 6th in the season opening race during Speed Weeks 2000.
See Jeff Purvis going along, putting his hand on the shifter. You think the thing is jumping out of gear or something?
Could be in the corners, Benny. Sometimes these things get so loaded in the corner they'll pop the car out of gear.
That would not be good. That was a real quick move to the right.
Boy, driving with one hand at 190 miles an hour, I wouldn't be excited about either. One hand on the steering wheel, one hand on the shifter.
No, but it'll be exciting probably if that thing does jump out of gear.
Wow. There's the 25 car, Kenny Wallace. In third position, Nemechek the leader. Kenseth in second spot. Now make that Kenseth the leader. Wallace in second spot, and Nemechek is third. Elton Sawyer side by side with Buckshot for fourth spot.
Ooh, the 4 car, I think he is having trouble with it jumping out of gear or something, because it looked like he moved up the racetrack right in front of Top Load Nine, but brings her back again.
Boy, if he's held that thing in gear and driving with one hand, that kind of traffic, he gets my vote. Talking about Jeff Purvis. There's Mark Green, the 63 car, Superflow Chevy.
7 says he'll come with you. What he done to us at Daytona. Do what you need to do. We got 23 laps to go. We still got a ways to go.
David is talking to his crew chief.
Mike McLaughlin, Gould's pumps, bumper cam. There's Casey Atwood in the Castrol Chevrolet. A lot of speculation as to what he'll do here in the year 2001. A lot of people want that young man in Winston Cup. Clarence Brewer excited about the future for him. And Casey Atwood, 19 years of age. And Ray, you're one of the guys whose name keeps popping up in Casey Atwood's future.
Yeah, he's definitely a talent. He's 19 years old. He reminds me a lot of another young guy that I've worked with, and he would be an excellent candidate to drive one of our new Dodges.
The other young guy wouldn't be a guy by the name of Gordon, would he, from Pittsburgh, Indiana?
He would be a great candidate to drive one of our Dodges, but he is under a lifetime
he's tied up
with Mr. Hendrick.
You're right. He's tied up with your buddy Rick Hendrick and mine, too. So a lot of young talent here coming up in the NASCAR Busch Series. What a show we're seeing here as the laps are winding down. 28 laps to go here at Talladega in the Touchstone Energy 300. Tony Womack and Jay Bell lead the Diamondbacks into California for a meeting with slugger Barry Bonds and the Giants in the new Pac Ballpark Sunday at 8 Eastern Time on ESPN. Major League Baseball coming your way Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern. Back at massive Talladega Superspeedway, 2,000 acres, 2.66 miles, largest track in NASCAR. And take a look at this field, all bunched together at 191 miles an hour.
And we have a new leader. Buckshot Jones, a 00 car, is now in the lead, followed by Joe Nemechek.
Now, a moment ago, Matt Kenseth was up toward the front. Watch this group now bunch up and get a run on him.
And he just go blowing by on the outside. I think that, I may be wrong, but it appears as though Kenseth has some type of problem. Not only did he lose the lead, he has fallen back to about the 16th position.
Gotta wonder if he's not on 7 cylinders or has some kind of motor problem here. Certainly Right now, the leader is 0-0, Buckshot Jones. There's a look at Buckshot. Second time he's led this year in 2000, led 28 laps at Daytona. Got shuffled toward the end there, finished 8th after qualifying 4th in the very same car.
We saw Jeff Purvis a little bit ago holding the gear lever like he was trying to keep the car from coming out of gear. So Bill Weber heard us talking about that. He went down to the crew and asked him, and they said, no, that's just something that Jeff does. Just reaches down and holds on to the gear shifter. That's his comfort level, the gear shifter.
Well, them guys got to tell him, man, hold on to that thing. It's making me nervous. Put both hands on that steering wheel.
One hand at Talladega. He's going to beat him single-handedly. That's what he's going to do here today. Jeff Purvis. There's that. Look at his hand. Down on the ignition box. See that knob on the gear shift that's vibrating? Holding on to the floorboard.
Oh! We almost had a crash back there for about the 5th position. Todd Bodine was involved, I guess, and Terry Labonte going in the corner almost made contact.
Well, they're still trying. Fortunately, everyone gets through okay.
Is that damage to the left rear car?
It looks like the 66 car may have some crumpled sheet metal in the left rear. Let's see if we can see what happened a moment ago to the points leader.
Never see going in the corner, and Terry Labonte comes up, and look at that. No, there's no damage to the left rear.
Wow.
Man, that was close.
Oh, he saved it. Moves like that can win you a Busch championship. If he'd have lost it, he certainly would have lost the points lead and probably a race car.
But he did have to lift out of the throttle, and you can see how fast he went backwards.
Talk about Matt Kenseth. I guess he does not have anything wrong because he was back to 16th. He's worked his way back up to 13th and seems to be gaining back on the leaders. Bill Weber, what about it?
Benny, he hasn't said a word to his crew. So apparently he just got shuffled back. Now he's trying to work his way back up to the front. He does have 2 spotters working with him today. One on the front stretch, Robbie Reiser's father, John, and Jason Schuler spotting on the back stretch.
Let's look at Gary Cogswell, who was the crew chief for Matt Kenseth, Busch Series team, the Reiser Motorsports team for Robbie and John Reiser. There again, Bobby Hamilton Jr., impressive run for him. There's Matt Kenseth, one of the Rookie of the Year contenders for Ray Bess's Rookie of the Year in NASCAR's Winston Cup Series. And 2 full seasons in the Busch ranks. Finished 2nd 2 years ago to Earnhardt. Finished 3rd last year behind Earnhardt and Jeff Green in the points. Approaching the 20 lap to go mark at Talladega. $892,000 plus up for grabs in the Touchstone Energy 300. NASCAR Busch Series Grand National event. Buckshot Jones being shown as the leader. His last top 5 in Busch competition coming in November of 1998 at his home track in Atlanta, where he finished 5th.
Blaze Alexander, the 81 car, track phone car, trying to make run. Here comes Terry Labonte driving down to the inside, the Slim Jim car. He's going to make it 3 wide, but here comes Jeff. Where did he come? Where did Jeff Green come from? He drove between those cars that go by both of them.
Benny, a year ago, we saw Terry Labonte sit and ride and be a part of the traffic for much of the day. With 20 laps to go, Terry Labonte began to make his move and won this race by 2 1/1000ths of a second. Now, with 20 to go, here comes Texas Terry Labonte in the Slim Jim Chevrolet. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, Jerry, as we're looking at those cars running up front, as we talked about them at the top of the show, the 44 car that Terry Labonte is in is the exact same race car that they ran here a year ago. The Joe Nemechek's car, though, is a different car than was involved in this race. They say this car is actually better. The one that they ran last year is the backup, and it's on the rig. But Terry's been on the radio saying, patience, 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 and we'll get to the front. He's done an awfully good job now.
Did you see Jeff Green just go down the back stretch going turn 3 and pull alongside Buckshot Jones?
Wow. horsepower for the Nesquik Chevrolet. Harold Holly has got it dialed in for Jeff Green.
And somewhere back in that group of cars is the 39 car of Andy Kirby, shown in the 11th position. And this might be his first NASCAR Busch Series race of the year 2000.
Well, the leader is 00 Buckshot. She's in Pontiac. Less than 20 laps to go. Who will win at Talladega? There have been 8 different winners and 8 races here in the Busch Series. Back at Talladega Superspeedway, exciting NASCAR Busch Series action. Put the seatbelt on the sofa. It's going to get exciting here in the final laps. 15 laps away. And it's still anybody's race. 26 cars are on the lead lap, and 24 are within 2.5 seconds of the leader.
Mark Green and Phil Parsons going by Bobby Hamilton, and look at Mike McLaughlin go by Joe Nemechek up on the outside.
Well, McLaughlin was headed. Well, contact and
In the trial over here. You're going to have caution at the line. Caution at the line.
Blaze Alexander's car number 81 gets tagged from behind. He spins across. Looks to be the only car involved. The Trackbone Chevrolet pretty heavily damaged. After a great run, Blaze will call it a day as we are approaching the 100 lap mark. Lap 99 brings out caution number 3.
Now, Ray, I don't think any of these guys will pit and give up that track position because there's just simply too many cars on the lead lap.
I don't believe they'll pit either, Benny. They don't need to. The caution always adds a little bit to your fuel mileage, so track position is important.
Show you again what happened a moment ago to the car number 81, right side of your screen.
Comes off the corner, and there's some car. I don't know exactly who that is. It makes contact, and around he goes. Now watch him back in the fence. Oh, that's a hard contact.
And the whole back of that car is just shoved down. Years ago, NASCAR put fuel cells in those cars so that if they had an impact just like that, Ray Abraham, you would not have a fire. Fuel cell, that big sponge and bladder that keeps the fuel all soaked up, and that's why they put them in the cars, just an impact just like that.
And I can tell you, they have saved a lot of drivers over the years going to that NASCAR type. It's a rubber bladder that has sponge in it. It was originally developed as a helicopter fuel tank.
There's Todd Bodine, who was having problems just before that wreck. Right along with the Briggs and Stratton roof camera.
Watch Todd Bodine as he comes off the corner. Oh, he's got a broken shock back on the right rear, Ray. Man, that thing was just jumping off the ground. My guess is, well, they're working like it's a broken shock on the right front.
Could be on the right front, Benny.
Donnie Richardson, the crew chief there, trying to make the repairs. Now, he is the points leader. We're talking about Todd Bodine trying to get back and run the final 13 laps here at Talladega. We are working caution for the 3rd time today, coming out on lap 100. Blaze Alexander's car tags the wall. Back in a moment. ESPN's exclusive coverage of NASCAR Busch Series action from Talladega. Lots of action to come your way tomorrow, RPM today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Bill Ever will be on hand to give you a pre-race view with NASCAR today at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. And, of course, how about ABC coverage? Our live flag-to-flag coverage. The 31st running of the NASCAR Winston Cup Die Hard 500 at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on ABC Sports, followed by round 2 of IROC 24 at 5 Eastern Time. That's on ABC tomorrow here on ABC. Of course, for more, log on to ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network, go.com. Let's check back in the garage area once again with Bill Weber.
Well, out here on pit road right now where Todd Bodine has made another stop on pit road. They believe the problem is a broken left front shock. They brought him in before. They couldn't break it loose, so they sent him back out, said catch the field as quick as you can, then get back in here. He caught the field. He came back down pit road. They got the left shock off. Now he's going to go out and see how it rides right now.
We'll show you why we're under caution as you watch Todd Bodine leave. Right side of your screen, the 81 car is Blaze Alexander. Benny?
Coming off turn 4, you get some contact right there. You see the car turning. Well, that's Andy Kirby, the 39 car, the Williams Travel Center's car that makes contact. And Blaze Alexander goes around and around, and bam, bats in an inside fence.
All right, caution here at Talladega for the third time. Heavy impact by Blaze Alexander in his Chevrolet into the concrete. Back in a moment. Back at Talladega Superspeedway. Remind you, coming up next, Winston Cup Happy Hour. You like what you're seeing here? We're going to turn up the wick a little bit for the NASCAR Winston Cup cars. Their final hour of practice prior to Sunday's running of the 31st annual Die Hard 500, which you'll see live on ABC.
Get ready.
I love this.
Ring, ring, ring.
But it doesn't do them any good because you only can pass to the right. NASCAR rule, you can only pass to the right. And all these cars up against the outside retaining wall, you got to wait till you get past. There's Phil Parsons trying to get by Mark Green for the 4th position. And meanwhile, he's got company on the inside. Well, now Jeff Green is falling back behind them.
10 laps to go. Single file. That's why we had that single file racer. There's Kenny Irwin in the 42 car. Andy Kirby to 39. Great run for him in his first of 10 starts this year. Kevin Harvick in the car number 2.
Michael Rich is having a great run in the 55 car. He ought to win as much. He's sponsored by the University of Florida and all the success they've had this year.
Joe Nemechek, watch for him to come. He's the veteran. He's got more experience probably than anybody else on this racetrack among the lead bunch.
Wait, there's 7 cars to pass yet. Brian Patty, can Joe Nemechek get to the front of this race?
I'd like to hope so. 71 Chevrolets run awesome all day, all week. Matter of fact, kind of had a little misfortune there, raining out qualifying. Thought we had a shot at the pole, but everyone's done just an excellent job. Since Daytona, all we've done is wax this thing and put a motor in it. So it's a good car, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, guys, watch for the 26 car of Bobby Hamilton Jr. to hook up with Nemechek. Bobby Hamilton Sr. is spotting for him. He said, if you get behind that 87, you two can go to the front.
And here comes McLaughlin up on the outside. That 48 Gould Pump Chevrolet has been strong all day long. Now Kansas has the lead along with help from Jeff Green.
That car was all the way back in 16th a little while ago, so I hope Hank Jr. got a good price for it because it's running real well.
And after the incident he was involved in, he might need a Speedway car, but they've sold this one. Matt Kenseth, the Visine Chevrolet. He won the season opener at Daytona from 8th position. He is leading here with 8 laps to go. Jeff Green, the Nesbitt Chevy in second spot. And there's the car you heard Ray and Brian Patty talking about, Joe Nemechek. And no room for Nemechek as Green says, no, not on my inside.
Actually got down in the grass for a second there.
And folks, trust me, these cars don't handle very well in the grass. And look at Kenny Irwin, that great run. He's coming up on the outside. And Purvis moves up to block him, so he tries to go under him. That's a battle for about the 10th position.
Now up high, they're going to try to go around Kenseth for the lead, and Jeff Green will take it. He brings Nemechek with him. Buckshot Jones comes along, Bobby Hamilton Jr., and they hang Kenseth out to dry on the bottom of the racetrack.
Tex is sitting there right in 3rd place.
Yeah, Tex and Terry. We told you what happened a year ago when the Iceman sat there and just sort of bided his time all afternoon. And with a few laps to go, made his move.
Mike McLaughlin, the Goose Pump Chevy, looks back at Phil Parsons. Michael Rich in 55. That Kingsford car is Phil.
Mike McLaughlin trying to get his second top 10 on the row, finishing second last week at Nashville. It'll be 6 to go this time by. Nemechek makes a run for the lead on the bottom of the racetrack in the tri-oval.
And moves up right in front of Jeff Green. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. back there. He's going with Nemechek. As Jeff Green now goes back to the inside. Tries to retake the lead, and Buckshot's with him.
So it's Green and Buckshot on the bottom of the racetrack. It'll be Nemechek. No, Buckshot will go back to the high side and give Nemechek a boost.
And Jeff Green somehow squeezed between Buckshot and the 87 car.
And how about Kenny Irwin? Bell South Mobility car for Kenny Irwin. Former Winston Cup Rookie of the Year. and slides up right in front of Buckshot Jones. Irwin now brings the car back down on the inside.
And Buckshot never cracked the throttle. Looked like he was going to be forced up against the wall. He just never cracked the throttle. And Kenny Irwin finally cut him some slack. Now here comes Kansas once again.
Inside.
22 cars, 1.3 seconds apart with 5 laps to go. You've got to love NASCAR at Talladega.
This is the biggest track that we race on, and these guys have used every inch of it today.
If you own it.
How much do you want it? That's what they're asking their drivers. How much do you want it? At 190 miles an hour. That's the view from the bumper cam of Joe Nemechek at Roy Buckshot Jones, who has 2 victories, but he has not won since May of 1998 at Loudon, New Hampshire.
Jeff Green leading just a moment ago is back now to about the 6th position.
Fans are on their feet. The drivers are on the edge of their seats, climbing up on that steering wheel with 4 laps to go. At the world's fastest stock car facility, still 23 cars could win it. 23 guys on the lead lap, 1.58 seconds apart. Kenseth gets the help from McLaughlin. The 17 and 48 drafting nose to tail. Bill Parsons is there. The lead 7 cars are single file, led by Joe Nemechek.
Make that pass, or I've seen someone make that pass. Now, I'm trying to remember exactly how he did that.
Wow, 3 wide there, Ray Evernham. 3 wide for about 15 positions.
It's been 3 wide for about 300 miles here, Jerry. I cannot believe these guys have run like this all day long.
3 laps to go. Nemechek has the experience. He's the former Busch champion. He's the former winner here at Talladega. Buckshot Jones, the double zero, right behind them.
And Bobby Hamilton Jr., the 26 car in 3rd, has never won a NASCAR Busch Series race.
Jeff Purvis in 4th spot has 2 victories. Hasn't won since Michigan a couple of years ago. There's Terry Labonte causing a 3-wide battle back there with Kenseth. Lead 7 single file. Now Labonte tries to break out. May be running out of time. 2 laps to go. So the checkered flag waves here at Talladega.
See Adam Petty back there, the 45 car. He's still in this battle, back in 15th position. I don't think we've mentioned Adam all day.
Adam driven a nice, clean race in this 3 Chevrolet back there, keeping that car in the top 15.
Here we go. Here's the front 7. Now there's 4 more getting in line, but it may be too late. Coming by for the white flag.
Joe Nemechek will lead him down. We are 1 lap away from the conclusion of the Touchstone Energy 300. Who will it be? 7 cars. Within 4/10 of a second, led by the veteran Joe Nemechek. It is Chevrolet, Pontiac, and Chevrolet. Nemechek, Jones, Hamilton, Purvis back there in 4th spot. Purvis takes a look to the outside. Hutch Strickland is there in the 61 car.
Uh-oh, Buckshot's now got cars behind him, side by side. He probably needs one of those cars to push him by. Nemechek, he just doesn't have any help right now.
There are half a mile from the flag. Here comes Nemechek. Here comes Buckshot Jones. They're side by side for 3rd spot. Buckshot in 2nd and 3rd place. I'm going to wait for the photograph. It was that close at Talladega. And the computers are saying Hamilton Jr. over Purvis for 3rd. We'll wait and see exactly at the line how NASCAR will call it. But Joe Nemechek in the Cellular One Chevrolet gets a wave from the other competitors. He has won the Touchstone Energy 300. Let's go down to his pits.
Well, Jerry, 1 year ago, I was standing in Joe Nemechek's pits, and Andrea and I were talking, and Okay, so Joe Nemechek goes to victory lane, and John Hunter down here helping him celebrate.
There is John Hunter Nemechek, Joe and Andrea's little boy. He's going to go be hugging on his daddy momentarily. You're going to get to watch it when we come back and go to victory lane here at Talladega. Back at Talladega Superspeedway, the 9th annual Touchstone Energy NASCAR Busch Series event is history. And we can take a deep breath because I am worn out watching this one. What an exciting day for that driver. Let's go down to our McDonald's winner's circle. Here's Bill Weber.
Well, the first two-time winner in the Busch Series here at Talladega. Congratulations. You came from the back and finished at the very front.
Well, we had a good car. Our Cellular One, Nortel Network Chevy was awesome. You know, we were hoping we could get qualifying in because we thought we had a shot at the pole. Yeah, I got to say thanks to Bobby Hamilton Jr. He was going to go with us there at the end, and he had a fast race car, and I think Buckshot knew if he jumped out of line, Bob was going to pop in behind us. But it was pretty awesome. Yeah, I can't thank enough the guys in the crew. Brian Patty called for pit strategy. We just took gas the first time and made up a lot of track position. And there's just so many things that happened that were supposed to happen. So, yeah, I got to thank Dobson Cellular. These people are putting this whole Cellular One program together. Nokia, just a lot of great things going on.
How long have you thought about the finish from here 1 year ago?
Well, I think I gave 3 of these things away, and we only won 1 and finished second a couple times. And last year, you know, losing by a couple inches, that was a tough defeat. But, you know, our speed, we take a lot of pride in our speedway stuff, and we're usually the guys to beat. You know, it's Terry Labonte or myself, and we always run good.
Congratulations. Joe Nemechek and family in victory lane at Talladega. Let's check in with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bill, it's a career best for Bobby Hamilton Jr. What a great race. You just got some good praise from Joe Nemechek. He said you helped him out out there.
Yeah, that's almost like a wing. You know, you follow behind these guys and run with them, and you're like, man, if you got a good car like I got, this could be easy. But T-R Motors, man, they built that. That's awesome, a bullet. And Baywatch Chevrolet Monte Carlo was awesome. Goodyear, we could have went the whole race in the Goodyear. And but it's just awesome, and especially to come here. But I was kind of afraid, as car premature, I was like, well, if I win this, I don't know if I want to. But everybody's won their first race, there's never won again. So I was like, I might have to finish second. But take it, I was third or fourth, wherever you finish, you know, I'll take it, and I'll live with it, and I'll be happy with it.
How about that? A top 5 for Bobby Hamilton Jr. here at Talladega.
I think that young man's excited. Certainly he is 22 years of age. He knows it won't be very long before he'll be able to celebrate in victory lane, just like Joe Nemechek is right now. Back with more from Talladega here in just a moment. We hope you enjoyed our exciting ESPN coverage of NASCAR Busch Series action from Talladega, brought to you by Daytona USA, the official attraction of NASCAR. Boy, these fans here certainly have got to think that they have seen one of the best races they've seen in a long, long time as they file out of Talladega. Let's file down to the garage area with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Jeff Purvis has 3 straight top 10s in the Busch Series, helping you move up in the points, but I know you thought you had a car that could win here today.
I really did, Ray. There's, you know, there's 43 other good cars down here, too, though, and drafting plays a big key in the deal, and, you know, my car drafted good. It, you know, if I could get up front, I felt like I could hold them off, but I just couldn't pick my way to the front, and it's, you know, to come out here with a race car, it's, I guess you feel good.
And you were holding the shifter there with your right hand going into the turns. What was that all about?
I just rested my right hand. I mean, really, you can, you know, these cars right here, you can hang on, drive them with the left hand, and that other hand's just in the way for me. So I guess I was resting it. I don't really know.
Just a Saturday afternoon drive, huh? Well, let's hear from Buckshot Jones here, finishes second. Great run for you today. Was there anything you could have done different to get to the front?
No, you know, a couple times I messed up and overshot our pits. Couldn't see out of the windshield real good. But, you know, we got the brakes we needed, got back up to the front. There at the end, I was just going to wait till the last lap and got on the brakes a little, trying to let Joe pull out. Then the 4 and 26 got to racing and didn't have no one helping me. So, you know, Joe did that to me here, I guess, in 98, and he ended up winning the race. I was trying to get him back, but, you know, I'm happy with our finish. Seems that Pontiac run good. You know, it's been kind of a tough year for us, but hopefully it's going to turn things around for us.
We hear that story a lot here at Talladega. Nobody went with me, right?
No, I had some help today. Bobby Hamilton Jr. helped me out a lot. You know, I tried to work with him, so I can't say I didn't have any help. He did help me today.
Okay, Buckshot Jones finishes second. Now let's go to Bill Weber.
Todd Bodine, who came in as the points leader here today, finished 25th, fall to second, 24 points behind Jeff Green, but you can put a positive spin on He survived what could have been a disaster.
Yeah, usually Talladega's pretty bad. Yeah, I never had that happen before. Both front shocks failed. We broke the shim stacks or something. Got shuffled back, was getting back to the front, and I had one broken. The left front was broken, then the right front broke, and it was just, I couldn't even drive it. So luckily the caution came out, we changed them, but I could never catch the draft on a restart. But the 66 Chevy was pretty good. Like I said before the race, it wasn't a car to win, but we could have had a top 5, definitely a top 10. But, you know, this Talladega, this is the first one I finished in a while, Speedway race, so that's a positive. You got to look at the positives, but we'll get them next week. I mean, we got a good team. It's only 24 points. We got a long season to go.
Yeah, I think you're off next week, so enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Easter, yeah. We'll take the week off.
Okay, let's check back in with Ray with the new points leader.
Yeah, and there's lots of good news down here. Number 1, you're the new points leader. Number 2, your car is not on its roof.
That's good. Hey, this same hot rod we had at Daytona, I turned over. Guys worked their tails off to get it back together, and it was awesome today. And like I said, leading there with 5 or 6 to go, you know, and then they hung me out. And just forced us to get back to the top 5. Mark really helped me there at the end. We got broke away from that pack, and I knew that the race was on. But again, my hat's off to my guys and all the Busch drivers. Man, they did an awesome job today. To run 4 and 5 wide around this place, put on an excellent show for these fans up here. So I know they're going to come back next year.
No doubt about it. Incredible race today here at Talladega. Jeff Green takes over the points lead.
Well, after 9 of 32 events, Jeff Green indeed moves from 3rd to the top of the heap. Green is the points leader here for the first time this year. Incredible. Todd Bodine moves back to 2nd spot. It could have been a worse afternoon for Bodine. They dodged the bullet today. LaJoie back to 3rd spot. Hornaday, the rookie, in 4th. And Kevin Harvick, another rookie, in 8th spot. Back at Talladega Superspeedway, our final results unofficially, of course, you take a look. 25 cars finishing on the lead lap. Nemechek, Buckshot, Jones, Purvis beats Hamilton by an eyelash for 3rd spot. And Jeff Green rounding out the top 5 guys. What a finish, what a day.
There's Hutch Strickland in 6th spot, and I don't think we mentioned him all day long. Michael Rich, great run back in 13th position. And Ray, just think tomorrow, 500 miles of this.
Unbelievable. Was textbook restrictor plate and drafting today. It was a great show for everybody.
You saw Todd Bodine, despite 2 shocks failing, finishes on the lead lap in 25th position and hangs on to 2nd in the point standings. You see Jay Sauter finishing 3 laps down. What an afternoon for NASCAR Busch Series racing here at Talladega. There were 3 caution flags for a total of 16 laps here at Talladega. And, of course, there are the cars that didn't make it, didn't finish the afternoon. Let's check in back in the garage area with Bill Weber.
So Joe Nemechek wins the Busch Series race here at Talladega. Well, tomorrow, the 62nd NASCAR Winston Cup race at this track, a track where patience has been rewarded more often than necessarily being swift. Sunday on NASCAR Today, we'll look at how style and not just speed plays a role in winning at restrictor plate tracks. We'll talk with 9-time Talladega winner Dale Earnhardt, find out how the Gibbs guys plan to get to the front of that Winston Cup field, and Benny Parsons and Ray Evernham will tell you how to win the Die Hard 500. Join Ray Dunlap, Matt Yoakum, and myself and the rest of the crew for NASCAR Today at 11:30 Sunday morning on ESPN2. Let's check in with Ray.
Well, Bill, there were a couple of rules changes for the Winston Cup cars coming into this event. Number 1, they gave them back control of the right and left front shocks. I don't think that's going to play a big part in tomorrow's Die Hard 400, or 500, excuse me, but I think the thing that will play a big part is the restrictor plate. They've gone down to a 7/8 restrictor plate, and that's going to bunch up the field. We could see 35 or 40 cars coming by to take the white flag. The big question is, will they all come back to take the checker?
Wow, Talladega racing, it doesn't get any better than this. NASCAR Busch Series action today, and the fans will have to go back and take some rest. A little bit of oxygen maybe to be able to stand tomorrow and scream and yell as the NASCAR Winston Cup cars will go at it for 500 miles. NASCAR action from the world's fastest stock car facility as the NASCAR 2000 season moves along. It begins tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time with RPM today. And then Bill Weber will have NASCAR today at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And then, of course, our live flag-to-flag coverage. Bob Jenkins will step in. The 31st running of the NASCAR Winston Cup Die Hard 500 on ABC Sports, followed by IROC 24, race number 2 at 5 Eastern Time. For the world's fastest stock car facility, plays host to the world's best race car drivers. An incredible afternoon for NASCAR racing, Busch Series styles here at Talladega.
I look forward to tomorrow.
Well, for Benny Parsons, Ray Evernham, Ray Dunlap, and Bill Weber, I'm Jerry Punch, watching the congratulations continue for front row Joe Nemechek, the 6th different winner in the year 2000. He gets his 2nd win at Talladega Superspeedway. What an eventful day it was at Talladega. Lap 18, it all came apart for David Green. And on lap 60, a hard impact for Randy LaJoie. And then with just 13 laps to go, Blaze Alexander's day was over as he would tag the wall. But front row Joe would go to victory lane as a winner here at Talladega. Then a presentation of the worldwide leader in sports. So long, everyone, from Talladega.